guys, welcome back to the channel on another episode. So on today's episode, we're gonna go ahead and bring the Mustang over to the back, get it all detailed up, clean the inside, vacuum the inside, wash the outside. It is raining outside, but that's the state we live in, it's Washington. But we kind of have to bring it in and just deal with it. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And then right after that, we're gonna go ahead and remove the front bumper cover and replace that driver's side headlight as it was cracked when it was vandalized. Once we finish that, we're gonna put that Trackhawk spoiler in the back. It does need to be drilled, so stay tuned for that because it's very, very hard typically to install those because a lot of people start drilling them and they drill them in the wrong spots. So follow me. Ready for inspection? So this is the 2-bucket system we have right here. You have your brush. You see how it's got a little bit of dirt and stuff on it? After you wipe down the car, you start dipping into the clean water brush a couple times. And you're good as new again. That way you're all good to go. No more dirt or anything. And if you have a little bit more, just keep going like that and you're ready to go. And this thing does a really great job at getting the wheels in.
And you can just tell by the bristles of how they move and how they flex. It's super soft.
Process too, because I'm kind of soaked here and there, so
yeah, that's typical. All right, let's dry her up. Okay, so let's show them what we use. The absorber. This towel is amazing for drying your car after you wash it.
You know, they make a bigger one than this too, I believe. This is just the XL. I believe they have an extra large or XXL.
For like bigger vehicles.
Yeah, and once again, this is pretty soft, you know, so it's not gonna scratch the car. But it absorbs the water really good. Then you just squeegee it out, and that's it. You're done. So
squeegee?
What's the term for that? I just can't remember.
Squeeze it out?
Squeeze it out. That's what you gotta do.
Squeegee it out. That just might be one of our new terms.
Squeegee it out. There you go.
All right, well, let's go show you how it's done.
Let's do it. That is all that dirty water. Oh, some of it poured out. But take a look at that.
That's all from the interior, all the seats and all that we've cleaned up.
Man, it is.
That's nasty.
It's nasty, but it does a really good job. This thing's called a hot water extractor. So, you know, you brush it, you get it all cleaned up, and then it vacuums all with pressure of water and everything, vacuums it all out. That way, you know, you're not having been left with soaked seats or anything like that. So. So we got the bad headlight out of there. Our friend came in, he was just talking and stuff with us while we're working, but this is the new light. We got the new one in. It's got the HID ballast down here as well. Looks like Osram makes it. It's all in there. There's no broken tabs or anything like that, so we just got to connect that one back in there. But yeah, it's coming along pretty easy. Just have to undo the bumper, the little tabs underneath it. The corner one by the fender did a bumper, and there's a couple screws along the top of the radiator support, and that was it. So besides that, let's put this light back in and put it back together.
So, moment of truth. Works.
It works.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah.
Actually, out with the old, in with the used. In good condition. Excellent condition.
Alright guys, so the last thing we gotta do for this video is go ahead and install that track pack spoiler. It's a GT350 style spoiler. And to do that, you're gonna need a couple tools. It's pretty simple though. You can get these panel removal tools. They're about $8 from Amazon. They come in a whole kit like this. So you got every single tool that you can get, and it makes popping these panels off a whole lot easier so you don't have to break all these panels and stuff. But let's get started. Alright, so our spoiler came in. We got the panel all removed completely for the trunk. Got these little grommets out of here as well. Now what we're going to do is show you guys the spoiler we got for it. Pull. There we go. Yep, those little nuts. Cool. So let's see how this looks. It's not even bolted in there yet. but man, does that look good. I just wanted to grab the camera and show you guys. Let's set this back over here. So, the one thing you might ask yourself is when you're installing the spoiler of this kind, how are you going to know where to drill the holes? That's the number one thing that a lot of people mess up on. I see it all the time. They start drilling holes in random spots, and next thing you know, you got 6, 7 holes that were in the wrong spot. It's pretty simple, so stay tuned. Let me show you guys how to do it. All right, guys. So we got 2 holes we got to drill on this. The way I'm going to do it is you get a piece of paper, try to get as straight lines as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we're going to use this as a template so we can know exactly where our holes are. And you're going to ask, how is a piece of paper going to help? You're about to see here a little bit. All right, guys, so find some nice padding for that spoiler because you don't want to get it all scratched up or anything like that. We just use what was in the packaging. But you grab your 2 pieces of paper like this, and this one gets bolted down from 2 spots, and they gave us 2 screws, so we're going to do 2 corners like this, and it's also going to have the 3M double-sided tape, but we're going to do this part first as the drilling. What you do with the piece of paper, you grab the piece of paper, go over the hole, and then what you do is you just lightly put the tape on it there, and lightly put a little bit of tape there and there. And I mean lightly, you barely tap on it, okay? So then what you do is you grab a Sharpie and you find exactly where the bolt hole is by feeling it. You can feel that it's right here. So what you do is you just go ahead and circle it with the Sharpie. And you can actually even make a hole in it. It doesn't matter. That way you know exactly where it's at. And you do the same thing for the other side. So you do the same thing for the other side. You know, lightly, and I mean lightly, I really mean lightly, guys. And you want to make sure it's centered really good.
So make sure like that, that bolt hole is like right in the center of that piece of paper, right?
Exactly. You don't want that piece of paper moving on you because then you're going to be drilling in the wrong spots. But at the same time, you don't want to push on the tape too hard because you're about to see what we're about to do here now, okay? So now your spoiler looks like this, right? You're still wondering how you're going to find your exact holes. What you do is you put your spoiler down, just like so, very lightly. Find exactly where you want to center it. So stand back, make sure it looks good for you. In our case, we're going to move a little bit down this way. This thing leveled. So in our case, we want it right here. That should be level.
And how do you know when it's level? Do you just eyeball it, or what do you do?
I just brought the 2 corners with my finger. If you saw, I kind of went like this and just put the corners and felt the edge of the trunk. And then also, you stand back and kind of eyeball it. But yeah, that looks even to me. You guys take a look at it, stand in the middle.
You mean me?
Yeah. So what you do now is you put the spoiler on there after you got it all centered and everything. And grab some tape.
Some more tape.
Some more tape. And you want to tape this one hard, okay? I said be lightly on the other one. Tape this one pretty hard. Because you don't want this paper moving at all. And you also do the same thing on the back side of it.
On the back piece of the paper?
Yep, right on the edge of that spoiler. So it's not moving. Same thing on this side.
Well, seems like a pretty straightforward, simple idea.
It's very simple, and I can't tell you guys how many times I've seen guys put random holes in their trunks, only to have a re-welded or filled with Bondo or plugged up or something, and all it takes is a little bit of
creativity.
Exactly. So now what you do is if you've done everything right, you lift up slowly. And you should have the exact spots where your holes for the trunk should go.
Boom.
Now you know where to drill, and everything will be perfect instead of eyeballing stuff.
Awesome, let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right.
So now you get the Sharpie. That's why I said poke a hole through it, because now you have a perfect hole of where your holes are going to be.
So you like literally mark the car with it.
Exactly, because you're going to drill right through here anyways.
So might as well, why not, right?
Well,
Sharpie
yeah, you can get this off really easily with some paint thinner or, you know, tape remover, goof off, something like that.
All right.
So then you're going to take this tape off.
Be gentle though.
That's right.
All right, so there's that one here. And then this other little guy there. Awesome, so let's see how the drilling part goes.
All right.
Huh?
Someone uses a big drill bit like this. But no. Now you want to figure out what size drill bit to use, okay? The easiest way to do that is obviously you don't want your hole bigger than the bolts that it came with. You grab the bolts. And, you know, it's going to be a little bit different on every spoiler depending on what kind of hardware it came with. But you kind of just eyeball it. Obviously, this hole right here is going to be a little bit too big for this one.
Oh, you're moving your hands way too fast. Up and down.
That one right there would be perfect. Let's see what else we can find. Let's see. This one right here is going to be nice. It's perfect. The end of this thing right here is going to be enough to hold it. And these are locking nuts, I believe, as well. So let's go ahead and start drilling.
What did you just tell me? Did you just say you're nervous?
A little bit, guys. So you put your drill on there. Start very small. Start right in the center. You want to center it out.
You mean the...
Start very slowly. There we go. There's the first hole right on top of the black mark.
Nice. It's in.
So once you got your holes all drilled out, grab a little like paintbrush or something, grab some touch-up, and you want to just touch up the sides where there's metal exposed because you don't want this to rust later. Just like that a little bit, you know, clean up the edges. Just like that.
You don't gotta be a painter to do this.
No, you just dab it, and you know, the more paint the better, that way it's not rusting. Just dab it on there. Cool, we're good.
Awesome.
So after you've drilled and put your touch-up on there, you want to go ahead and grab some 3M double-sided tape. And before you apply the double-sided tape, you want to make sure you prep the spoiler. That way the tip has the maximum adhesion. So pour a little bit of this on here, not too much. Plenty goes, a little bit goes a long ways. And we'll go over to the spoiler. And you just want to basically wipe down the surface area of where that tape is going to be. And let that dry out. Your whole spoiler decked out like this with the double-sided tape, you go ahead and just pick at the corner of the tape, and you don't peel it off all the way, okay? You just peel it off just a little bit, like that. And that one's gonna go to here, so you're gonna do the same thing on this one. And the reason why you don't peel it off all the way is because you still want to be able to position it and move it if you need to before fully securing it in place. So you go ahead and just peel these ones off right here. Same thing on this side. That way when you go and install on the trunk, you have these hanging over the side. So then once it's in the right spot, you can apply a little bit of pressure so the spoiler doesn't move and pull these off from the corner. All right, we're gonna go ahead and install it. So we got the headlight installed, we got the car detailed and washed inside and out, got the whole seats all deep cleansed and everything as well. We put lastly the spoiler and it came out so good that, man, that spoiler just sets the whole car off and that paint's just shining. But if you guys liked what you guys saw, like, comment, and subscribe. Share this, it helps out a lot. And stay tuned for the next video coming out.